morning, LGJ family, seventh graders. What's up? I hope you guys are doing well. Today is Monday, just in case you forgot. Monday, April 27th, 2020, and we're back at this remote learning game. It's Mr. Ramos, and this is our aim for today. Our aim is how is the probability of an independent event determined? So we're going to be looking at independent events, and for today, our learning goals. You will feel successful if you will be able to define an independent event, multiply the probability of two events, and find the probability of two independent events. Now, I know that's a lot of information, but we will get to it. But first, let's go back to a quick reminder. Our do now for today is multiply the following fractions. Number one says 1/2 times 3/4 equals blank. Number two says 1/8 times 4/5 equals blank. Now let's look at our answers. 1/2 times 3/4. Let's put that on paper. 1/2 times 3/4. If we remember correctly, we multiply across. We get 3/8. And for number two, let's look at number two. Number two states 1/8 times 4/5. 1/8 times 4/5. 1 times 4 is 4. 8 times 5 is 40. If we want to simplify that, it comes down to 1/10. We divide both of these. So if you got 3/8 and 1/10, you are correct. Congratulations. Let's move on. So independent. An independent event. What is an independent event? So independent event or independent probability is when the outcome of one event does not impact the outcome of the second event. The events are then called independent. Now, how do we find or how can we determine the probability of two independent events? So, independent probability can be determined by multiplying the probability of each event happening. For example, the probability of A and B is equal to the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B. So let's look at that. These are two independent events. So rolling a die, that is one independent event. Now, flipping a coin, that is also an independent event. So let's look at a question that's asking us to find the probability of two independent events. So this question states, how do we determine the probability of rolling a 3 and flipping tails? That's a great question. So let's look at how we can do that. So we have a die and we have a coin. So the probability of rolling a 3 on a single die is 1/6, while the probability of flipping a tails is 1/2. Now, how can I find the probability of both of them together? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the probability of rolling a 3, which is 1/6, and I'm going to multiply it by the probability of tails, which is 1/2. Now, if I remember how to multiply my fractions correctly, I know that I multiply the top across and I multiply the bottom across. So my answer would be 1/12, because 1 times 1 is 1, and 6 times 2 is 12. So the probability of rolling a 3 and flipping a tails is 1/12. So I put this in easy steps for you. How do we determine the probability of rolling a 3 and flipping a tails? So let's look at these steps. I take the probability of event number 1, which was rolling a 3, and I took that event and I made it into a fraction. So the probability of rolling a 3 is 1/6. And then I take the probability of event number 2, which was flipping tails, which is equal to 1/2. And then I multiply them together. When I multiply these two together, I get 1 times 1, just like we saw in the video, is 1. 6 times 2 equals 12. And now I found the probability of 2 independent events. Now, you try one. Let's look at this question together. In a board game, students draw a card and replace it, and then draw a second card. Determine the probability of each event. So, to earn 50 points, a student must draw a heart-shaped card, and then an angel card. Now, if you look at the pictures in front of us, how many heart-shaped cards do we have? That's right. We have 2 heart-shaped cards. Now, how many cards do we have in total? That's right. If you picked 8, we have 8 cards in total, and 2 of them are heart-shaped. So that means the probability of picking out a heart-shaped card would be 2/8. Now, how many angel cards do we have? If we picked 1, you are absolutely correct. Now, what would be the probability of picking an angel card? Right, 1/8. So, I just found out the probability of 2 independent events. So, if I do the math, I find that heart shape had 2 out of 8, and our angel had 1 out of 8. So this would mean that to find the probability of both, I would have to multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 times 8 is 64. Now, if I wanted to simplify that, I could divide both of these by the number 2. 2 divided by 2 equals 1, and 64 divided by 2 equals 32. So now I know the probability of picking a heart-eyed card and an angel card is 1/32. Great. Now, with that being said, I would like for you guys to make sure to don't forget to summarize this lesson and complete the exit ticket. Exit ticket will be in a simple or in separate Google Classroom assignment. And just so you know, some final thoughts. We do miss you all. We do miss the classroom, and we really hope that everybody is doing well. And if you are not doing well, just know that you have us to talk to. We are here for you all the time, easily reachable by email, um, Google Hangouts, Google Meets, or any other kind of option that we can come up with, cell phone, text message. So if you need to reach out, please do. Do not hesitate. You are not alone in this. We are here for you. Stay well, um, and make sure that we're staying on top of our work. Okay? If you need some more help, reach out. I'll see you at our office hours today. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your Monday.